want to see what 1,000 miles of sick week with a diffuse oil leak will do to your box. Look how nasty this thing is. Oh, it's so bad. First time I've had this thing on the lift, and ever, but we took this thing on sick week, just clocked 1,000 miles. And I knew we had an oil leak on sick week from this little block off plate up here by the oil filter. And at Bradenton, which is on day 2, we fixed that. But I don't know if we have other oil leaks because there's literally just oil everywhere, transmission fluid everywhere. Like, it almost looks like it's coming out of the rear main seal, maybe hitting the flex plate in the converter and slinging it around. I don't know. Anyways, this is quite the project. We're gonna have to get this thing.
Just flip it upside down.
Yeah, and like do a whole degrease and power wash probably. But look at this X-brace, huh? Look at this thing, Mike. Old Mike over there looking all cute. Look at him, sweeping the floor. Yeah, I ruined your X-brace covered in oil. But yeah, this is something we didn't show when we did the cage was this X-brace, but now we get a good look at it. It's pretty legit. And he even put a little bend in, not really a bend, but an angle in it to miss the drive shaft. That's good stuff right there. But anyways, for a project this filthy, we're gonna need some different attire. Throughout this entire project, I've gone through 3 pairs of shoes. As you can see, I burn a hole in some of these pairs from welding and stuff, and a lot of cussing and ow, that hurt because I got a fire in my shoe.
No tread left.
No tread left.
It's almost like you need some work boots.
That's why this video is brought to you by Brunt. So a huge thank you to Brunt for getting us tuned up on some boots. Obviously, we're done with these, because this is not going to be my last project where we're doing something disgusting. And I gotta tell you, normally I don't like wearing boots. They feel clunky, they feel heavy. I feel like I can't move around. You never know when we're gonna go play basketball, right? Big heavy boots, normally there's a break-in period. These are ready to go right out of the box. I've been wearing them all day. They feel great. Also made in America. Look at this, they got a nice little American flag on them. Can't beat that, made in the USA. Me and Billy opted for the soft toe boots. Like I said, I like to be able to move around. You never know when I gotta maybe run a route. Now, they do make steel toe boots if you're working on more of a heavy machinery and not really race cars. I opted for soft toe. They're very comfy, very affordably priced for a boot this comfy when you compare it to other boots out there. So these boots are made with a water resistant construction, and they're also oil and heat resistant up to 572 degrees. So that's pretty awesome. Let's say somebody came out with a set of slicks that could last thousands of passes. You'd be buying those instantly, right? So why wouldn't you do the same thing for your boots? I'll put a link in the description, and then I'll put a link somewhere you can click on if you're on a mobile device. Get $10 off your first purchase today with a risk-free trial by going to bruntworkwear.com/Gen2Garage10. That'll get you $10 off. Again, that's bruntworkwear.com/Gen2Garage10, discount code Gen2Garage10. That'll get you $10 off the first order. Let's get into the video. Thank you to Brunt for getting us tuned up with some boots. Wait a minute. Something's missing. What's going on here? Gross. It's so naked. Oh, it's so naked. I don't completely hate it. I just hit my head. I don't completely hate it, actually. It just looks naked. Welcome back, everybody. Got all kinds of crazy stuff going on today. So, starting a new video today. It's finally time to start getting this thing ready for the season. We might be taking it out tomorrow to test, and haven't driven the car since, let's see, whatever Gina's race was at the airport when we won the True Street class. So, been a minute. But we pretty much parked it after that race. I mean, kind of winterized it and then parked it. And she's still sitting on radials with 3 weight bars in the back and, set up for some junk. But new plan. We got these here, we call these mini tires. They're like small tires, but smaller. C11 compound. 26.85. I don't know, man. That's pretty wicked. Them are small. Mr. Mike from Lane Motorsports Fabrication is actually working on a new wing for the car. It's been something we wanted to do for a long time. The old wing was kind of jank, but you know, obviously having a 61 Falcon, it's not like you can just go on old Motion Raceworks and find you a nice wing or something. So honestly, most of the body parts in this car are like kind of handmade, like, and honestly, a lot of it looks really good, but yeah, the wing could have been a little longer. It'll be interesting to see how much of a difference it makes. We're actually doubling the length. So before it was 8 inches long off the back of the car, I think Mike's planning to do 16. So it's going to be a wang. Should be really interesting. We'll see what it does. See if it helps at all, you know. Aerodynamics, if you guys watch Cletus's channel and what they did with putting the body on Leroy, you know what I mean? Simple changes with the body and wings, and you start playing around with aerodynamics, it could really matter. We're gonna back this sucker out, hopefully put it on the lift today, take the old radials off. I'm gonna be a little sad about that. So that's on the agenda for today. Also, I should probably put my tailgate back on my daily, because, you know, having a tailgate's kind of nice when you're trying to haul shit. But, you know, just some of the ideas I'm bouncing around today. We'll see if we get around to any of it. Unfortunately, old Bisquick's in the way. Got you a strap. That looks like a good one. It's got the perfect amount of seasoning on it. Gotta let them sit outside a little bit, get rusty. Maybe in a little damp corner of the shop. Yep. Yep. Give her the beans. It's in park? It wants it in park. Alrighty. Now I'll give her the beans. Getting this car on the lift, it's so skinny. You gotta have it like dead in the middle, because if it's off to one side, the other arm won't reach. Such a skinny car. That ain't going nowhere. This thing's nasty. Man, that wide lens makes them 275s look like a 315. Uh-oh. Hear Dad coming. Remember, folks, it's better to ask for forgiveness and not permission. Just caught something while watching back the video, and this is pretty interesting. Because this is a new developing theory after this past weekend. After getting the car home after testing this weekend, of course, that's not going to be in this video, that'll be on SRC, but we're kind of noticing how stiff the rear shocks are. In this clip, the shocks were at like, I think 7 clicks. That's what I had them set at the Gina race, or at the airport race. If you notice, I was applying some pressure to the rear axle with the lift to get the bullets out and get everything free. And if you notice, the rear end doesn't compress at all. Literally, it raises the car up off the lift just a little bit. You know, we're kind of thinking these shocks are really stiff, or maybe we have too heavy of a spring, I don't know. But, you know, after seeing this on the video, you can see the whole car raise up when I jack it up, and it's like geez, there's like no compression in the spring at all. So I don't know, maybe we need to try a different spring or different shock. But back to the video. So, as I was gonna say, I was gonna go on a rant. So 26's, I'm excited to try it. My car, I mean, the state of small tire right now is a little tough. It's gotten very fast, especially up here in Ohio. And it's pretty awesome to see. I'm not complaining. But the tube chassis cars and everything are, you know, let's just say, like, you guys are looking at this car, it is not a tube chassis car. It is not a total pro mod by any means. It's also not a true street car. I mean, it's pretty close to a true street car. It is now closer to a true street car than it is a small tire car. And unfortunately, we get called puppy kickers. What's going on?
Oh, you know.
A puppy kicking true street car.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
I said, you did say this week I could use your lift. I kind of kicked out this quick, but
I see that.
so hopefully that's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
By the time Kenny gets here, we'll have the wheels off and we'll be swapping them, and gotta do an oil change. So I have to go. We'll probably have enough oil and filters here to survive the whole year, you'd think, but hard to tell. So anyways, to get back to my rant, basically this car now sits closer. You know, this used to be an OG small tire car. And 4 years ago it was competitive. It was very competitive. But no longer is it anywhere near the top. It just depends what surface. On the street, very competitive, but on fast front sides and anything good, you know, we're struggling the last 2 years, so it's time for a little bit of a change. And there's upgrades that we can do for sure, but to really get back on top, this car would have to go to Tin Soldiers and really go through some extensive surgery, and then it never would fit True Street ever again. I'm more interested in putting this thing on the 85 with an intercooler and running True Street classes. The rules did recently change. I don't know what they are down south, but up here, True Street now allows triangulated 4-length or stock style 4-link. And a car that doesn't have it from the factory. This car has leaf springs from the factory. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, the frame rail is real slim through here, but it's still there. But this car ain't getting leaf springs again, obviously. And we can't fit, you know, the only way we can fit a 10-inch wheel and a 275 tire is with this frame rail real skim right there. So, you know, basically a mini tub and frame rail's half missing. So, and then, you know, your leaf spring's gone. But you've got Mustangs and G-bodies that have triangulated 4-links from the factory, and, you know, the Mustangs have been dominating True Street, the Fox bodies. I mean, there's a lot of other cars out there on leaf springs that are also fast in True Street, but it's every class in no prep is heavily Fox body, but to me, True Street has always been a leaf spring versus Fox body class. And it's funny that I can't technically fit True Street with this, but now I can. And the reason I can is because Nick Taylor from Nicky Bobby Inc., I guess you call it, came out with the bolt-in triangulated 4-links for S10s. Bolt-in to factory locations. So it's like, what are you going to tell them guys that have a total street truck and they just wanted to have something different than leaf springs, and now here's this, you know, we got triangulated 4-links for S10s and it bolts in. It's like, so everything's kind of changed, and since that happened, now, you know, a triangulated 4-link, and no matter what car, even though, you know, a car that comes with leaf springs can have a triangulated 4-link and fit True Street. So I am a step closer to fitting True Street, but we still got to get off methanol. But
Thanks
now,
to Nicky Bobby.
Thanks to Nicky Bobby. Thank you. Saved my ass, because I'm not trying to full tube chassis this thing. I don't want to, but, you know, and I also don't want to put no big stupid wing on my car. I would rather go play around in True Street, which is a much more enjoyable class. You know, I get to actually go out and drive the car again, could be very fun. So yeah, we're stuck in a weird spot. I want to, my big picture would be to set it up for True Street. So get it back on the 85, put an intercooler in it. And then I'm also very interested in running a class legal turbo from Precision, like a class legal 76, and trying like a limited 235 class. That stuff seems super fun. I absolutely loved running radials. It's like easy button, you know what I mean? But so if I could possibly make the car fit True Street, but also limited 235, that would be the dream. But I don't know if that's possible. And the other thing too is there's not a lot of limited 235 classes up here, so that would be more be like in the winter, you know, like we did this winter. We were down south in Florida multiple times, a lot of good events, a lot of good times that we had these last few big events in Florida. I mean, they do a lot of racing all year round, so that's kind of the big picture. But for now, we're going for our 26's on because why not? And we might bring radials with us to Little Gangsters as well, and run True Street and 26's. So, you know, we have a lot of options, but I know I ain't gonna run small tire. You gotta get in where you fit in, man. And you call me scared, I don't care. I know where I belong. I know where this car belongs right now, and it ain't in small tire. Not at Yellow Belly, anyways. So, okay. So now we're gonna loosen up the wheels. Typically with a slick, we've got slicks on the cars, 28's. I have to take the air out of the tires. Might have to do that with a radial too. We'll see. It's such a pain to get the wheels off. That's the other thing is if I'm switching tires at Small Tire Gangsters, that's a whole deal. It's a whole ordeal. So a lot easier with a lift. It's quite challenging on the floor because you got to get the car so high in the air. I got one side off. This is an absolute pain. If you're ever thinking about building a 61 Falcon, just remember this. Okay, here we go. It's easier once you get one off. Okay. Now we just need old Kenny Powers to come get me tuned up. Thinking about getting the old degreaser out. Might even scrape some rubber, huh? It's not too bad. It's been worse. Might need the weight back here. So if I remember right, we were, I believe, at somewhere between 115 and 130% anti-squat the last thing we tried. Obviously the rear end's hanging, so the bars look crazy, but I know our lower bars got somewhere between a 3 and 5 degree angle uphill at ride height, and then the top bar is not too aggressive. It's not too crazy. The last time we put it all in the calculator, I believe it was about 115 to 130%. So it says. I don't really care what it says. I can tell you, the first time I take it out and see what it does, I'm going to know about where it's at. But look at that little mint green in there. Why would there be mint green? I thought this car was white and blue. Who knows? Maybe this is a different quarter panel. I don't know. Got them Hot Boys on. We did that towards the end of last season. They're looking fantastic. Our diaper is hanging on by a thread. Get that tuned up. Ooh. Ooh. What happened there? I don't see any fresh leakages besides that. That was in here already. But I'm sure our transmission is still... Yeah, it's not bad. There's a little drippage. It means it's got oil. It's got fluid. There's usually oil all over the bottom of this thing. It just leaks out of everywhere, honestly. Just in this general area. A lot of the dump valve fittings and things. Which honestly, I wish the dump valves would just be gone. I never use them. I should probably try one day because a lot of people, that are fast use them. So that tells me I must be doing something wrong. With the stock Falcon floor pan, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, and all they do is leak right now. So yeah, we got some, I'll have to go through the fittings and tighten everything up. It always leaks. Like, something is always leaking down here, but we just call that rust prevention. But yeah, this car is pretty nasty, I'm not gonna lie. No rust, but like a lot of self tappers, a lot of this going on. I don't dare touch the wiring on this car. I've only wired my truck, and that went well, but I don't dare dive into something that's already together. It's just not really my thing. But maybe when I get a little more confidence, I don't know. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and zero out all the shocks. Had about 7 clicks of compression in it. We had 0 rebound in it. Hell yeah. Ooh, Robin's racing, huh? Hell yeah. I think Mike needs to get me tuned up here. When we we put the new precisions on, everything didn't line up perfectly when we put it back together. A little rust going on there. This car's rusting away on me. It's terrible. It's everywhere. Look at that. Oh, it's so bad. It's weight reduction, right? Oh, man. This thing needs some updates. I bet that's going to be disgusting in there. Yep. Yep, we got some cleaning to do. But we got a lot of nut and bolting to do, too. I tell you right now, a lot of times we have a loose jam nut on the upper bars. These are still tight. This is always the first thing I check, is the jam nuts, because these have a hard time getting them tight. Just like cow tracks, it's hard to get in there sometimes with a crescent wrench. So, but these are all good. They're all tight, so that makes me happy. Drive shaft bolts are in there. It's a good sign. Yeah, we got some leaks to clean up. Got some things nut and bolt, but let's get after it. Who knows? Anywho, let's drain this oil out, see what it looks like. Ooh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay. I don't know. A little caramely. That's standard practice. I've acquired some help. But Kenny Powers is getting our tires tuned up. Chris is getting our oil tuned up. It's finding all the loose bolts. So I think it's like high at 55 or 60. Good turbo weather.
Weather next week down there is going to be perfect. I already looked.
In Florida?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
80?
You excited for that?
Yes, sir.
Me too.
Extremely
I hope Billy does good.
I hope he does too.
The thing that we're worried about, though, is if we're going to be able to film and stuff.
I mean,
I don't expect, like, look, I don't even want to film the whole deal. Like, this is Cletus's thing, not ours, you know what I mean?
right.
So I don't want to budge in and overstep. But, like, if we should be able to film our own passes, hopefully.
You would think.
But, you know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Billy said... The Citrol stuff is strong. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know what it's from, too. It's from War in the Woods. War in the Woods in the fall and in the summer. In the summer, it's a dust bowl. And then in the fall, it's just like leaves everywhere. So it all just piles up. It's the fun thing about having a rear mount radiator. Look at them baby tires.
Little babies.
Baby tires. It's ridiculous.
Don't even look right.
It doesn't. Little baby slicks. That was all sitting on top of the radiator. All these leaves and grass. So we got this thing cleaned up a little bit. Got some areas to touch up where we got some bare metal. Get Krylon Kenny on the job. Got the oil out of it, new filter on. Shut this thing down, we'll pour some oil in it and start her back up. Feels good to do some maintenance on this thing. Makes me feel a little better. This thing has been needing cleaned for a while. I guess I don't get Krylon Kenny today, I get Krylon Chris. I guess that's not Krylon. You know, people are gonna ask. We gotta show them what we're using. Rust-Oleum, good old Rust-Oleum. Just paint over all that dirt and make it look brand new. Careful though, it's adding weight.
It's adding weight. Find holes.
Alright guys, so we're pretty much done nutting and bolting this thing. A lot cleaner underneath. We got a lot of crap out from the top of the radiator. It's looking better. Got the 26's on there. Don't really look too bad. We'll see what it looks like on the ground. I'm sure the ride height's going to be a little silly. Might have to adjust that, but we'll see. I don't really know what that's going to do to how much shaft we have showing. Of course, the rear end's hanging right now, but I'm sure it's going to need, you know, maybe if it's something that we just have to ratchet the spring a little bit. Or, you know, I don't think, hopefully we don't have to change the actual bolt holes that these are in. It means we got to put the car back up and do that, but we're going to get it on the ground, put oil in it, and see what it looks like.
Radiator's gonna be on the ground. Any straight wheelie move.
It's gonna look like one of the Mac TV cars. It's like a little lowrider.
Got that Carolina swat going on.
Yeah, I gotta push the front end down still. That might help my case.
Okay, well,
Oh, it doesn't. That's not bad.
it looks good. I like it.
Low.
I like the way it sits. I like it without the wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting look.
I like it.
Looking a little better. Chris got this thing washed up for me while I try and get that laptop unscrewed up. Look at that thing. Man, it's gonna look so crazy when we put the big wing on it and then it skipped leg day. It's gonna be so backwards, but it's all good. All right, so we're gonna pull this thing in for Chris. He said he wants to finish drying it off inside, and yeah, we're gonna vacuum it out because it's nasty. Look at all this nastiness. Very nice. Thank you, Chris. You're a G. guys will see in the SRC video, we took the car out and did some testing at Edgewater on the 26's, and didn't go very well. You know, as we were trying something new, and that was a bit of a learning curve, but then the car had an issue. It's almost like we got a crank or cam sensor going out, which first time in I don't know how many years that's happened, so I'm not mad at it. We'll get a new crank sensor in this thing, or whatever it is, might be the cam sensor, get that fixed up. But as far as the 26's go, I didn't get enough passes to really say if I liked it or not. It definitely, the gearing was way different, and it was rowdy out the back. I mean, we were tickling the rev limiter 8,400 RPM, but you guys will see all that in the SRC video. But I will say, after editing this video and after having some time to think about it, we definitely see a major problem. The rear shocks are way too stiff as far as compression goes. We put these Ron G's on late last season, and we did it because we had bent the front struts. We had some, I don't remember if they were Jeff Thomas long travels or what they were, but we came down from a pretty bad wheelie and bent them one weekend at KD. I'm sure you guys remember that. And we ended up buying Ron G's for the front, and then Billy was like, might as well go ahead and get all four. And so we put Ron G's on the back. And I don't know if we've been fighting this problem for a while, or we might have blown out the shocks, like just having the car on a trailer or something, you know, hauling it, you know, warm out. I don't know, but for some reason they're way too stiff on compression. So like I can't even, I mean, like if you watch the video of me jacking this thing up on the lift, the shocks don't even compress. The car just lifts off the lift. It's kind of bad, and it was really hard to get the shock bolts out and everything. And then even just sitting here, like the shocks are full loose on compression, and the car is just crazy stiff. So, and then check this out. That looks fantastic. It's a great color choice. It's going to match really good.
Oh, good.
Now we got to paint the rest of the car. But Kenny's getting this wing painted up. It looks fantastic. Mike finally finished it last night, and he did an awesome job. So I don't think he's going to have a video on his channel, unfortunately, because he was just too busy working and didn't have time to film. But Lane Motorsports Fabrication, he keeps doing these little odd jobs for us, and he just keeps knocking them out. So huge thank you to Mike, because I can't wait to get this back on the car once this paint dries. But that's pretty awesome. So anyways, we're going to fart around with probably putting the old shocks back on the car, as long as they're still good to go. There's nothing wrong with them when we took them off, we don't think, but they are, you know, a little old. But we're gonna put the old shocks back on and maybe do some more testing, and probably throw some tubes in the 26's. But again, you guys will see all the testing on SRC. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I'm excited for the new wing. And I kind of feel relief as far as this shock situation goes, because that could have been messing me up for a long time, because the car feels like it's super sensitive on bumps. So you got to imagine if there's no shock compression, it's basically just relying on the tire, the sidewall, it's hitting bumps, and it's just upsetting the car, which is kind of how it's felt like for a long time. So, and also might have been why it wouldn't allow it to squat hardly at all when we were trying to get it to squat. I don't know. Who knows how long we've been fighting this. So we'll see. Stay tuned for more videos. We also did some testing with Allison's Dakota, and that'll be coming out next. So be on the lookout for that. But appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.